Well, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. Great to see you all here with me today. Leslie Bitel here, business coach and mentor. And I'm really looking forward to our time together today. I have a great show in store for you today. I'm joined by Jennifer Price. Hey, Jen, how are you?
Hi.
Good to see you. I'm so excited for our conversation today. So, guys, before we delve in to our topic and kind of giving you an overview, I wanted to just give you a quick update on yeah, exactly what we're going to be talking about. So, we are going to start by chatting about how to increase your visibility and authority with video marketing. And this is a topic very near and dear to my heart because, as you know, I have a live show myself, and I've actually been doing this show for 3 years now. This is my 3 year anniversary, actually, this month in December. So I was in your shoes not very long ago. All right. So I can really appreciate, gosh, all the trepidation and, honestly, the putting it off part, especially. Like I have every excuse in the book, or I did have every excuse known to man and womankind when it comes to kind of postponing the whole idea of going live on a regular basis. So I'm going to help you through that today and with Jen's help. So here's what we're going to talk about. Why video marketing is the fast track to be able to reach more people. And that's really the beauty of it, is it is going to greatly expand your reach and your ability to develop a closer bond, a relationship with your audience. So, we're going to talk about how to create engaging video content that really speaks to your ideal audience. We'll share some tips and tricks to increase visibility and authority online. And really, super important, how critical it is just to have a plan in place. All right. So we want to have a plan in place. Plus, you are going to have an opportunity, of course, to interact and get your questions answered during our time together today. So, all right. So, with that being said, let me just kind of give you a quick introduction. You guys might remember Jen. She joined me, I don't know, it was a few months ago, I think. Jen Price is a YouTube growth specialist who works with business owners and creators in various fields to monetize their channels, expand their audience, and increase revenue. Jen's clients range from small businesses to entertainers, loved worldwide. So, welcome, Jen. So happy to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, why don't you just kind of refresh our memory in terms of, your background and how you came to do this, really specialize in helping people grow their YouTube channels.
I actually used to be in event production.
Mhm.
And as things evolved, like the internet,
Right.
I started getting more into marketing, social media, whether it be through helping out at my regular job or through nonprofits. And eventually I found my way into the freelance world, and I decided to take on YouTube. I knew video was a growing market, um, and YouTube is enormous in its capabilities and what it can do for people in terms of marketing. Either if you're, example, an entertainer, like most of my clients, I would say half of my clients are specifically comedians, and the rest are health professionals.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. What an interesting, kind
yeah,
of dichotomy, right? Like, whoa, how did that happen?
yeah, I'm listening to very great medical or health
Yeah,
related stuff, and then I'm like laughing. So it's pretty
it's a
fun.
great combo. I love
I
that.
learn a lot, and I have fun doing it. So
Hmm,
yeah, it's
that's
a very
fabulous.
fun job. It's very rewarding, and nothing is better than like showing a client a viral video or something, or like, hey, we got you monetized this week. So
Yes.
monetization is like 1,000 watch hours. I'm sorry, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So it's a big milestone, and then they're able to actually earn money through ad revenue. But
Ooh.
there's just so many different ways to use YouTube. Um, and between its link to Google and the searchability, it was my first choice.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because you and I go back. And you and I used to work together growing my Pinterest account. Remember
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
And then we decided to, change gears. So and Pinterest can be great, especially if you've got, well, you can probably speak more to that. But for a business like mine, for example, I feel like YouTube is definitely where it's at for like people in private practice, right?
Mhm.
Tell us why you like, so obviously we are talking today with health practitioners. So, in your opinion, why is YouTube a great option for health professionals?
Well, there's obviously the whole it's a sister company of Google type thing. So they do have the searchability, SEO, and all that stuff. But using YouTube, say, as your core content,
Yeah.
you can do testimonials, basically show your expertise in your field. If you've got an online business in your practitioner and not like a brick and mortar, you can definitely expand your reach. Um, and just, for me, and I know this can be also uh, used for practitioners, but like when I send out a proposal, I might send out a blog and the video to basically show I know what I'm talking about type thing. So you can use those YouTube videos in different ways, whether you're talking to clients um, or different approaches.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit. So, can you comment a little bit on the style of content that, all the different platforms prefer? And I'm really talking about the algorithms and, how you navigate that to
Mhm.
get your content really to be shown front and center by the various platforms. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about how that works.
Let's see. We got Facebook, which probably almost everybody here is on. They perform short form content. So if you're doing video, like short video, engaging text, images, basically video that can quickly be consumed. Um, but yeah, they're boosting video,
Okay.
like most platforms are. Twitter, short and to the point, very concise in the messaging.
Okay.
You got TikTok. They've grown quite a bit in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Um, with there, you just need a lot of flash to keep engagement. But they share tips, like for practitioners, I'd share tips and hacks to help your target audience. The thing about TikTok is their algorithm is fantastic. Like if I'm watching a bunch of content, like health related content, it's going to keep feeding me that from different angles. When I log on, it's all the things I like. So, but the thing about if you go the TikTok route, you really need to mix it up and not promote yourself 100%. It's like 80% value,
Yeah.
20% promotion.
And I would
Um,
agree honestly, like that's what I would recommend anyway,
mhm.
is that 80/20 rule. 80, so did you guys get that? 80% of the time you're providing value and 20% of the time you are you're selling or you're promoting or you're asking your audience to maybe step into a paid program, right? So I do think regardless of the platform, I highly recommend that you follow that 80/20 rule of thumb,
Mhm.
right? Sounds like Jen agrees.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got all these options out there. Why YouTube then? Because one of the most common questions I get, well, let me rephrase that. One of the most one of the biggest challenges is I'm overwhelmed. I feel like I'm just all over the place and I don't really know how to rein it in. I don't know, where should I be spending my time? So you have honed in on YouTube. So why would you recommend YouTube over perhaps some of the other platforms?
Well, first of all, the searchability, right? It's
Okay.
the second biggest search engine in the world, behind Google, and they work together. So that's the
Google
biggest reason.
owns YouTube, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Um,
huge.
the next biggest thing is probably repurposing. I think YouTube videos are easier to repurpose than any other video content.
Okay.
In terms of it's usually segmented. If you use a script properly, you can use it for all kinds of things,
Okay.
different platforms, blogs, all that kind of stuff. Um,
Okay.
I also think you're able to really hone in on certain topics that apply to your audience, and use those keywords to attract them if done properly.
Okay. All right. I love that. Yeah, and I would maybe just add one thing, and you kind of alluded to this, but just to kind of to drive this point home, the thing that's really nice about YouTube is that like when your ideal client is sitting in front of the computer, right? Trying to use Dr. Google to solve their problem or at least to get them started, if you've got content like a video that addresses that question, right? And you've got it properly tagged, like all the things that you can do inside of YouTube, you are likely to show up in a Google search. And that's in contrast to, of course, creating video on like inside of Instagram or inside of, Facebook. That's great, but it's not searchable on Google. You have to be inside of the application, to be able to access it, right? So that's why I really like the idea of using YouTube and kind of making that a primary platform for your content. I would say YouTube and maybe a blog. And guys, remember, you're not recreating the wheel, right? You're actually repurposing. So, like, if you're writing a blog and you're SEO optimizing and doing all the things, honestly, all you have to do is turn around and then create a video pretty much talking about the same exact information that you wrote about in your blog, right? Post it on YouTube, do all the optimizing, and then you can repurpose that content, right? Is that how you'd recommend going about it, Jen? Or any
Um,
suggestions that I might have missed?
I got a whole list of ways to repurpose.
Ooh, okay. I'd love
So,
to find out before you jump in.
mhm,
I just want to give a little feedback from our audience while you're talking. Okay.
okay.
So, those of you that are listening live and those of you that are going to watch the replay, can you give me a comment? Let me know in the comments, what are you doing right now with video? Like what is your strategy? Are you using YouTube? Are you doing blogs? Are you really just focused on a social media app like Instagram? Just give us a little bit of background so we can help you out. Okay, Jen, with that, let's give us some tips on repurposing. I think that would be really super helpful.
So my suggestion, if at all possible, is to use YouTube as your core content.
Okay.
If you were to do that, you can then, I know that you promote this too, is transcribe your video.
Yes.
Then you can take that transcription, you can make a blog post, you can make a LinkedIn article, you can do your weekly newsletter, and you can also pull quotes out of there for social media, and different stuff like that. You also have, all of the social media platforms in general where you can use video, you can use infographics from the facts, the quotes in your video. Um, yeah,
I
there's
love
there's so many different things you can do, and there's so many different social media groups on YouTube. There's also the YouTube community, which is really like a post almost like Facebook. So it'll show up in the feed for videos. You got Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, and then there's also Google My Business, which I don't know too much about yet, but it's another thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you have Reels and TikTok. So there's different forms of video that you can use on the same platform. And then there's carousel posts with infographics, stories, stuff like that.
Okay.
So
I
there
love
are,
that.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a little bit of delay. Bottom line is we want to repurpose, right? We want to squeeze as much gold as we can out of every single piece of content. So we do have a comment here. And unfortunately, I can't see who sent this in. I can't see the name, but this person has done Facebook Lives, which is awesome. Good for you. I wonder what those tech issues were. I'd be curious about that. And I wonder, yeah, I just kind of wonder what that was about. This is me. As you know, probably know, I use StreamYard. And for me, that really helped mitigate some of the tech snafus. I was able to avoid a lot of the issues that I heard were quite prevalent when you go live directly through the Facebook app. But that being said, I know plenty of people that go live, they don't want to spend the money and they go live directly through Facebook. So I'd be curious to know what some of those issues were. Oh, the internet connection was a problem. Okay. That is huge. So this is a really easy tip. And again, I don't know your whole backstory. I don't know if this is going to solve it. But what I really would recommend is that you get an Ethernet cord. Okay. Get an Ethernet cord, turn off the Wi-Fi, and that hopefully should solve it, because believe me, I'm no tech genius here, but I know there's fluctuations in, the speed of the internet, and sometimes that can pose a problem when you go live via internet. So you can get an Ethernet cord, or super cheap, right? You might even have one at home. I would just plug it in and just make sure you turn off the Wi-Fi in your computer and give it a try that way. But honestly, guys, I want to encourage you, keep going. Don't let those challenges throw you off track. I would just say in general, people are really forgiving. And I would just get back in the saddle. If, try to, oh, okay, maybe it was because you're using your phone. I'll bet that was it. Yeah. I've tried, yeah, you know what? I was traveling recently, and kind of long story, but as it turned out, I didn't have my computer, right? I thought I did, but I didn't. So kind of like you, I went live on my iPad thinking, well, this should work great. It's a great iPad, yeah, not so much. um, I went live via my iPad using, well, I might have even been using the Wi-Fi. I don't remember exactly, but bottom line is the quality wasn't great. So I think it's okay once in a while to, jump on and do a live on your iPhone, but probably better quality if you do it on your computer. And another little tip is I would do a reboot before you go live. So every time before I hit the go live button, I do reboot my computer. I shut down all other screens that I don't need. Okay. Just, to make things a little more streamlined. So hopefully, yeah. And for sure, the Ethernet cord, that really could be the solution. Okay. And then this person says, would like to try YouTube to repurpose the blog articles. So if you're blogging, so here's how I look at it. Because I have people that I work with, health practitioners, who are like, you know what? I like writing, right? I don't mind writing. I'm going to make my core content my blog. Great. So that works great. So we make your core content the blog, you write it, and then it's super easy to, jump on video and just like talk through the points of the blog, right? Then you've got this video you get a transcription, and you can do all the things that Jen described, right? You can chop it up, you can create shorts, you can even create reels, right? You can do a lot with it. In contrast, if you are someone that's like, oh God, I hate writing, like the thought of sitting down and writing a 1,500 or 2,000 word blog is horrible, then I would do the opposite. I would make the video your core content, right? So if you're more of like a talker, you can kind of, just work off an outline, then that's the direction I would go. I would make YouTube your primary content, right? Where you're creating those YouTube videos, and then you get the transcription, which is super easy and super cheap, I might add, and you can turn that into a blog and then repurpose that direction. Does that sound reasonable, Jen?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So hopefully that helped. I just want to encourage you guys, get back in the saddle. What besides the tech, well, maybe tech is your holdout. I would love to know, if you're not doing video, what is holding you back? Can you tell me in the comments? I think that would be super interesting and helpful as well. Um, I know when I was contemplating, I knew I should be doing live streaming, or at least getting on video on a regular basis. Oh boy, I told you I had every excuse in the books, right? It was like, I mean, the biggest thing for me, this is me, is I didn't have a schedule. You know what I mean? So it was really, really easy for me to be like, I'll do it next week. I'll do it, I'll do it someday. So for me personally, the way I had to get my butt in gear was with this particular strategy is, I had to just say, okay, I'm going to go live. Like every Thursday at 12:30 Central, I'm pushing that live button. And because I announced it to my audience in advance, that's what keeps me honest, right? Otherwise, it's way too easy, way, way, way too easy just to, be like, oh, I don't feel like it. I'll do it next week, right? So, um, okay. So, okay. So I feel like I need a very simple step-by-step instruction on how to get started on YouTube. Okay. All right. That is really helpful. So I don't know who this is. If you could tell me in the comments, that way I can address you by name. I feel bad not doing that. So just step by step. And I'm curious, is it like I don't know how to structure the lives? Is it I don't know what to talk about on the lives? Give me a little bit of a sense of where, or is it the tech? I don't know how to create my channel. Okay. Because those are different elements of the process. And honestly, Jen and I can help you with that in a big way. So give us a little feedback on that, so we know that way we'll know how to help you. All right. So Jen, what are some tips for filming the Facebook Live so the video footage can actually be adapted to different platforms? Do you have any tips on that you can share?
I think when you're writing your outline for the show,
Yeah.
and say you're finishing up, you just asked a question, the guest answered it, kind of leaving a little bit of space there. So it can be, so if you wanted to actually use those different questions and answers as a clip on different channels, you can do that. Obviously, there's some like reels, you're limited to 1.5 minutes. Shorts, you're limited to a minute. So trying to figure out where you can, and without overthinking, where you can steal content from later. Now, if you were to repurpose a Facebook Live for YouTube, YouTube is a little different. What I would probably do is, before you go through your live, because it can last anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour or more, right? You probably want to do this before. But I would film an intro and an ending for YouTube that's specific, and maybe even a little part about the call to action. I do it the day of. You can do it earlier or later, whatever you want. Well, you're still wearing the same stuff. You're still in
same hair, same outfit, right?
Yeah. So you can basically, I would probably even do that maybe an hour before I went live. But yeah, the intro for, you just want to hook in the beginning of your, and you want to get pretty much straight to the point on YouTube. Less fluff, the better.
Okay. Well, it's super interesting that we're talking about this because Jen, as you know, well, you're the one that does my YouTube, right? So just to give you guys a little background, Jen and I have been talking kind of behind the scenes about, what are our initiatives for 2023 for my YouTube channel, right? Because, obviously I'm going live via StreamYard and I'm streaming to multiple platforms. And then we're going back and creating the we're doing exactly what we're recommending that you guys do, right? Now, the caveat though is that I have not, this is me talking, I have not been jumping on, beforehand to do an intro and an outro for each of my videos. Where did we land on that decision? Did we decide that is that's going to be one of the things that we do for 2023, or what did we end up deciding there?
I think so. And with the longer videos, because these go up to 60 minutes sometimes more, I might even break it up. And if you know what you're doing, if you know what your outline is, you can say, well, I think I'm going to do an intro for this topic, an intro for this topic, and an intro for this topic. I don't think the ending always has to change. You can mix up your call to actions for those, but you can get a lot of different content just for YouTube for that. And that doesn't count like shorts and reels and Facebook.
Okay. So you're gonna chop up the videos because mine tend to be a little on the longer side. So are you suggesting that, like, for me, I go in and record, different intros moving forward?
Yeah, I'd say specific to the content. Yeah, like example, if I were to talk about 7 different ways for you to repurpose content, that alone, out of the 60-minute call, could have probably been a clip, and then your intro could have been about that.
Okay, I love that. I do. Okay, what do you include in an intro? This is for our audience. What would you recommend?
A hook.
Okay.
A little bit of an intro about yourself, not a huge biography by any means, but like very simple and basically showing your expertise. This is what I do, and just a little bit about you, and then let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very
super quick.
I would say no more than 15 seconds between the two.
All right. That's great. Guys, YouTube is a different animal in that it is much more to the point. And a lot of people are going on YouTube to figure out how to do something, right? How do I do this? How do I do that? Like, and that's really the kind of content that seems to do well. So your intro, you do not want to belabor it. Let me just say, you want to jump right in. And so the hook, what is the hook? The hook is, basically answers the question, what's in it for me? Why should I watch this video? Right?
Exactly.
So it could be something like, hey, everyone, Lesli Bitel here. If you are struggling with, what kind of video content to create, you're in the right place. I'm going to answer that today. I'm going to share 7 of my top ideas for, video content that'll go viral. Something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. See how quick and easy that was, guys? So, what I don't do is go into this big, long dissertation about my background, right? So just be really careful that, because people, if they want to know more about you, they'll look you up, right? So just want to be really kind of careful about that. Okay, let's look at, um, okay, so hey, Wendy, thanks for commenting. Wendy says, I don't know what to do with the tech. I would like to share slides during videos. Not sure how to do that. Is there a specific platform? All right. So, as a matter of fact, I mean, yeah, they're it like StreamYard. StreamYard, I'm looking at my dashboard and there is a button that says present. So, you know, you can definitely share your screen. That shouldn't be an issue. Furthermore, if you are creating content for YouTube, in all honesty, you just go on Zoom. You share your screen on Zoom. Guys, seriously, don't get hung up on the tech. It's just use whatever is the simplest. Okay. Whatever is like the lowest kind of threshold to get started. So the reality is, I use Zoom for everything except for my lives. Okay. And I probably could use Zoom. When I first started, I think I used to go live through Zoom. Um, and then I switched over to StreamYard only because, well, it's very simple. You just push a button. Love that. And the other thing that I personally liked about StreamYard is that I was able to go live in multiple places at once, right? Which I did like that feature. But if you don't want to use StreamYard, just use Zoom and you can do a screen share. Super easy. So that's what I would do there. Um, and I would just say, I love, I think that Wendy's slides can be great. On video, you do want to try to maintain some eye contact, right? Like I think it's totally fine. Like, look down, look up, like, you know, to look at your slides or whatever. That said, the idea is to create a connection. So you really want to, be looking at that camera, try to maintain eye contact, right? Because that's, kind of what do they say? The eyes are like the window to the soul, right? Or did I make that up? No, I did not make that up. I heard it somewhere, but I really think it's true, right? It really helps us connect. So I would be really cognizant of that. I would say that's the only thing to consider when it comes to slides is, will you be able to maintain a decent amount of, doesn't have to be like nonstop, right? Like, absolutely, you can look up and down, but can you maintain a decent amount of eye contact? And then, oh, this is Karen. Hey, Karen. Awesome. Hey, Karen, so happy to have you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. Can I use my phone? And what about background and lighting? All right, this is great. So this is the stuff that we want to dig into. I will mention, Karen, I don't know if you're aware of this and the rest of our audience, but I have reopened the doors to my course called Your Own Video Show. It's yourownvideoshow.com. Okay. And I walk you through like literally step by step. So if you want to grab that, I reopened the doors because people were so busy over the holiday, and I kept getting emails about, gosh, I missed the opportunity. Can I still get in? So anyway, that is reopened, and I go into a ton of detail in terms of, equipment, lighting, my recommendations, the different things that I use, and most importantly, how do you structure your live streams, right? How do you do that in a way that is not going to make you go crazy, right? Um, all right, so let's talk, and I'll share the link for that in just a moment. But I do want to comment, and Jen, you might have some ideas that you want to share here as well. I will just say that you want to start as inexpensively as possible. Okay, that's really my recommendation. Um, Background, look at my background. I recently moved. I used to have an awesome background, to be really honest with you. I mean, I thought it was really awesome. Now it's just a wall, and it's not even a beautiful painted wall, right? So it's really nothing special at all. But the one thing I will say about this space is I have a window in front, well, kind of like on the side a little bit. But I would just say, out of everything, the most important thing is I think lighting is huge. Okay. So if you can place yourself in front of a window, so you want your light source to be coming towards you, not behind you, towards you, in front of you, that is going to be critical. If you don't have a window, then there's lots of different ring lights and things like that that you can use. I have a pretty nice light as well. um, but let me tell you, I did not start with this really nice light. I started with a window and I worked my way up. So I say go cheap, but just make sure that the lighting is good. Because if your videos are dark, that's not that, people don't like that. And the other thing I would say is, just in general, I would use an external mic. And that really could even be AirPods or, earbuds, whatever you want to use. But usually an external mic sounds better than just, your computer mic. And you can absolutely use your phone. I mean, I have clients who create really, really nice videos via their phone. And I think it works especially well so the caveat is, if you're going to go live from your phone, that might be a little more challenging because of the Wi-Fi, right? However, if you're just going to record video from your phone, honestly, I think that's a great solution. Okay, so you really don't need much. John, what do you want to add to that?
I think, yeah, sunlight if you have it. I think
Yeah.
that's the most important. I'm in Michigan where it's about to be dark a lot. I right now I have a light above me, which probably for filming would need to be at a different angle, but it's just a sun, one of those sunlights where it replicates sun. Because it's about to get a little depressing over here. But yeah, that's what I use. But I recommend, if at all possible, sunlight. Ring lights are really cheap right now on Amazon. You can get cheap, and then you can work your way up to some really good stuff.
I love that. Okay. Yeah, I think you just go on Amazon, right? And I actually did at one time use a ring light, and that's pretty much all I had, just a ring light, and ordered it on Amazon, super easy. Then so guys, just like with your clients, you want to create a habit, right? You want to create a habit where you're actually creating videos on a regular basis, right? And then once you're kind of into it, you're creating video on a regular basis, then I would say maybe you want to up your game a little bit, and maybe take a step in investing in improving the quality. But seriously, I don't think you need anything special really for a background. I don't know. Do you, Jen? I mean,
No.
it can be nice, but I think it can almost be kind of distracting, to be honest with you. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Just a plain background's fine, but I just would make sure, things not too cluttered in the background, but, people are successful in different environments. So I think they're fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Right. I would agree. Okay. Awesome. Any other recommendations there?
For getting started with the filming process?
Yeah.
The filming process itself, I know it can be intimidating. When I tell people to film their own videos, instead of going all the way through, because to me that's nerve-wracking, right? Because if you screw something up, right? So I tell people to have an outline, to go over a topic. You don't even have to go through a whole paragraph or whatever.
Yeah.
But just say a little bit at a say a little bit,
Yeah.
and then pause for a second in a neutral way, so the editor can edit it, and
Right.
then go
Okay.
ahead and continue. But when you're moving around and doing all this stuff, it's very hard to edit. So just try and know where your neutral spot is for
Yeah.
filming and go back to it when you're done speaking. Then you can go and look at your script to refresh your memory and then come back up and go ahead and speak. But those pauses are fine. Like you can take 2 minutes to 5 minutes, whatever in between.
Mhm.
I've even have somebody, like a lot of my clients will say in the film, hey, Jen, we're going to cut that. Or
Oh,
just try this again. So they can communicate in that original footage. And I just usually go through and cut things out according to like what makes sense or unless they instruct me otherwise. So
that is super interesting. So, are there any strategies that we need to follow in terms of like those kind of pregnant pauses? Because I honestly, I personally never think about that.
um, for the pause, like the pauses are okay. It doesn't matter. Like I definitely would pause
Okay.
instead of having that stress on your back, knowing that like this is stress free. I can say a few lines
Yeah.
and then take a break, get my composure, anxiety's down. Because I know being on camera, you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position, especially when you're putting it out into social media world. So sometimes just the filming alone can be nerve wracking.
Yeah.
So just taking that time to know that I'm doing this myself,
Mhm.
it's okay. I don't have to do it all in one shot and then think I screwed up and do it 3 more times. You can literally take 4 different tries on one sentence and then move on. That's less time consuming in general.
I love that. All right. Is this Karen still? Karen? I'm really like, this delights me to see this message. You've got all the equipment. Why are you not doing this already? Why do you think it is? I mean, I can guess, but each of us kind of has our own internal like procrastination and like we've all got our own reasons. So I'll tell you what, Karen, because I can't resist a little coaching. Um, Let me ask you this. When do you want to do your first short video? Give me a date. Okay. Give me a date in the comments and even tell me if you can, like, tell me what you want to do your first video on. How's that? Because I want to help you to actually follow through. Actually, anyone listening, you know how it goes, right? If you declare it to the world, you're more likely to actually follow through. Hello, that's why I go live the same time every week because I don't want to, let my audience down, right? Like I've already said I'm going to do this, so now I'm for sure going to do it. So let us know in the comments your plan. What is your next step? What are you going to do? Give me an idea. And in the meantime, a couple of things that I wanted to share. Oh yeah. So I did want to put on the screen yourownvideoshow.com is the URL. And as I was mentioning earlier, I created this course specifically to help you to get moving forward, right? I feel like it really addresses all of the potential holdouts that you might have. And frankly, even if you're already doing a live stream or a live show, this course was really designed to help you to brainstorm lots of ideas in a really sequential manner so that you're, not pulling your hair out trying to figure out, oh my God, I have to do a video. What am I going to talk about? And how do I organize my thoughts and actually put it on a video? So go and check out yourownvideoshow.com. Like I said, we opened the doors because we had lots of emails on Monday saying, OMG, did I miss the deadline? So we decided to open things back up and you can get the early bird price. And guys, it's a steal. It really is a steal. I mean, you get loaded up with, templates and all kinds of tools that are going to really help you to make this entire process very seamless. All right. So go ahead and check that out. Let me know if you have questions about it. I think it will really, really help you. Okay. All right. So Karen, all right, I will do my first video by the end of this month. All right, on the first steps to reverse diabetes. Great. Okay, doing my own editing sounds intimidating. All right, well, we can help you there too, right, Karen? Right, Jen? I meant Jen, not Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jen, tell us a little bit about, why don't we talk a little bit about the work that you do for me and how you can help folks?
Yeah.
Because the editing, yes, not for the faint of heart. I'm with you 100%. Now, look, some people are completely wired for this. Okay. I am not one of those people. I'm not I just don't have that kind of patience. However, thankfully, there are people in the world such as Jen. And so, Jen, tell us how you help people with this part.
Well, if you're using a Facebook Live and I'm editing something like that, it can be a little bit more simple because there's really less editing involved. It's really just clipping off the ends and a bit in the beginning. If there's any, kind of tech issues in the middle, addressing that. Now, when you're making your own video for, you're pre-recording it for, say, YouTube or something else, for editing, I usually just tell people to take the process I was telling you about, where you say start with your script and
Okay.
you start with your intro and your hook. And after your hook, you read the lines, take a break. If you weren't happy with it, you do it again. But leaving those breaks in between allows somebody to go in, even the least experienced editor, to go in and just clip it and then clip it, and then everything comes together. Is when you have a lot of things happening at once and expecting it to be edited, without seeming so disruptive. That's the issue. So it can be very, very simple. And it can be, if you got an iPhone, I don't have an iPhone, but they have a good simple editing
Okay.
program.
What is that? Is that is that on the iPhone specifically or on a Mac?
I can't remember what's called, but
Is
it's
it
on the iPhone.
iMovie?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
There's,
do you think is it iVideo? I
it
don't know.
might be.
I'm not sure if that's right. Okay. So we do have a question. What editing program do you use?
I've used a few. I started and I'm certified with DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
It's super high tech. Like, it slows down my computer. So I have my own editor now that helps me. So he has the super system. I now will use something like, it's called Movavi. It's pretty affordable.
Okay.
It's a very simple platform. For social media, sometimes I use something called Veed, Veed.
Okay.
And usually you could take, after I do some major editing in Movavi, I can move it over to Veed and I can use it for different social medias. You can add captions in there. I don't prefer to do captions in big editors because a lot of times you have to do them manually, and there's just less AI involved.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the cheaper the better. You don't have to go for the big programs like Premiere or anything like that. I'd start with
Okay.
something like Movavi, or even those social media editors that I like. Veed, you can actually edit a regular video into.
No kidding. Okay. Can you repeat what you said about the captions?
Programs like Veed
Mhm.
will allow you to actually, it's got AI, so you just press a button and it will go ahead and start generating subtitles or social media captions, and then you could change the styling of it or whatever. Now, when I go to do captions for like a lot of bulk stuff, like
Yeah.
say I'm taking one of my comedians and making tons of clips,
Yeah.
I can do bulk uploads in a program called Subly. And so when I upload them, all of them get captions, and I just go and make sure everything's correct.
Okay.
Because sometimes, things end up weird. But It's just so much
Definitely a good idea
convenient.
to double check, right?
It's so convenient when you have a lot that you need to do for captions, just like doing a bulk upload, and when it uploads, it's actually doing the captions at the same time. So
Okay. And what was that called? I have Movadi. Is it Movavi?
AVI.
Oavi?
Mhm.
Okay. So Movadi or
And
Mova. Yeah. Okay. Got that. And Veed.
yep.
And then what was the third one?
The third one is more for captions.
Okay.
There is some other functions, but I don't use it for that. Subly, Subly.
Okay.
I think the web address is actually Get Subly.
Okay.
So
Cool. All right. That's great. All right. All right. So, in terms of the work that you do, then I mean, you've helped me a ton in terms of, taking my Facebook Live videos and kind of repurposing and doing all like the optimizations necessary to get traction on YouTube, which does include a like adding like a little intro.
mhm.
And do we do an outro too on mine?
What I use for you is end cards.
Okay.
Usually, like you'll have your closing for the Facebook Live, and then I'll have music trailing into, and I use an
Okay.
end card.
All right. I don't know if this is me or Jen.
It went on. I don't
It,
know.
okay. I don't know if it was me or you. Did I freeze on you?
Yeah, it was on both
Okay.
sides.
All right.
But usually that blank spot is where I put the elements for your end card. So I
Okay.
can put a different video, a subscription button. That's stuff that we do in YouTube after the fact.
Okay. Any ideas for editing Android phone videos?
Um, I don't have any experience with that, but I would bet there are a ton of apps, probably similar to the one that I mentioned, Veed,
Okay.
uh, where they're usually catering towards social media. But I'm sure there are some out there very similar to the Apple one.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see. All right. So a couple things as we wrap up. Again, just want to remind you, we open the doors just for a little while longer for yourvideoshow.com. So please check that out. Um, I mean, a phenomenal price point. I mean, really the lowest I've ever offered for any in-depth course. So check it out. I think it'll give you everything you need to be successful in planning and executing your video marketing strategy. All right. So I'm really excited to be able to help you guys really get moving forward on this. And I would recommend, in my biased opinion, I would recommend, just kind of looking into 2023. Video is where it's at. All right, guys. So if you're not doing video yet, I really want to encourage you to move forward on it and really decide January, like now is the time, right? To make it a priority and to really do what it takes to make it happen. All right. So check out the course, yourvideoshow.com. And let me know if you have any questions about that. And I also want to share Jen's information because, like I said, Jen has helped me enormously. In, I'm not that person that is going to sit there. I'm just not wired that way to do my own video editing. So Jen has really helped me a ton in moving forward and being able to repurpose. The thing that I think is really helpful is her ability to take these Facebook Lives and chop them up to create shorts, right? That really seems to be, moving the needle on YouTube.
Mhm.
So, thank you, Jen, for all of your help. Those of you that would maybe like to learn more, don't we have a special offer, Jen?
Yeah, the special offer was for any enrollees in your program.
Okay.
Um, yeah, Do you want me to go
Yeah.
over it really quick?
Yeah, why
Okay.
don't you? Yeah, that's right. So guys, any enrollees in my program, so you gotta start out with yourvideoshow.com and then, sign up, save your seat, and then Jen, what happens next?
For anybody that's enrolled, I have a channel essentials special. Basically, it's over half off of my normal price, where I go in and assist with creating your channel if you don't have it, or assist you in switching your personal to a brand channel. I will optimize your channel, look at competitors for you, upload templates. What that means is in the back of Facebook in the studio, you can create an upload template every time a video is uploaded. It will have a specific template that you go in, fill the description, stuff like that. Make your life easier, basically. Do a branded channel banner for you, thumbnail templates in Canva that we can transfer over to you, so easy editing. And then end cards, which I was just talking about, what I usually do for Lesli, custom end cards. So everything's a template in Canva. You can change it. Yeah, that's what
Awesome.
I got.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I think that's such a I'm really excited that we have this special combination, to help you to get started and to help you be successful, right? Like, that's really what we want. I wanna help make it easier, more doable, more streamlined, and ultimately help you to be successful so that what is your end goal? I mean, let's be honest, your end goal is not really like, being on video all the time, right? Like, I mean, that's a means to an end. What we're really ultimately helping you to do is to build your audience, build your sense, the authority, your authority in the marketplace. Video is going to help you to do that. And it is going to help you to attract the right people into your world. And ultimately, what do we want to do? I want to help you to grow your email list, grow your audience so that you can work with kind of the cream of the crop, the people that you love helping. And probably the big result from all of this is helping you to create multiple revenue streams. That's really what it boils down to, in my opinion. Because as you grow your audience, you grow your following, it greatly expands your ability to offer leveraged services, more scalable services. And I know for sure that that's what you guys want, right? So, all right. So this is, in my opinion, the fastest way to kind of catapult you into that world of multiple revenue streams. All right, Jen, anything would you like to add? Anything before we wrap up?
I say jump into it. Like, you don't have to think too much about it. Get on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you have no idea what to do, YouTube is the best resource. If you want a YouTube script, go on there. There's about there, and I would look for the people that are doing well. They
Yeah.
all have scripts. It's a very simple formula, and you can find secrets on how they do things. So that's where I would start. Start with who's doing it well on YouTube, and replicate. Especially if they're in your niche, and like if you're a dietitian, look for a big dietitian,
Okay.
and see what's working for them.
Love that. All right, guys, I want to see you in my course. All right. I really, really do. So we're going to actually have a live kickoff on Tuesday. All right. So as soon as you grab your seat, you'll get the information on the live kickoff that's happening Tuesday. So I hope to see you there. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much, Jen. Really always enjoy chatting with you. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys all next week. All right. Have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Awesome. Oops. Let's see.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.